If I was starting today, I'd skip 99% of stocks and focus on these three. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, premium chasers? I hope you're having a God blessed day. Today, every single person that comments down below is going to get my 10 favorite quad option strategy stocks to sell options on, collect them juicy cash secured put premiums, cover call premiums, appreciation sales, right? And of course, a sweet, sweet dividend. If you want that, I will personally reply to every single person that comments down below. And while you're down there, hit that like button and that subscribe button. But guys, today we're talking about the three setups that if I was starting out today looking to get into some option selling plays that I'd be looking out for. So without further ado, let's get into it. First one is going to be Realty Income. Guys, this is one of my favorite quad option strategy stocks for a few reasons. Number one being it offers a fantastic dividend. Listen, we all know as option sellers, sometimes we sometimes stuck holding that bag, right? But that bag ain't bad, right? If we're able to still run covered calls and on top collecting that little juicy dividend income along the way. So let's go take a look at what Realty Income is offering for its dividend. You could see we do have earnings for Realty coming up after close today, which is awesome. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to that, but I want to go over to the trade options section. I'm going to click sell a put, and I'm just going to take a look at really 30 to 45 days out. Now, obviously, you know, like a Realty Income, you're not going to be able to do like a weeklies on, right? You're going to have to go out a little bit more, which in my opinion isn't a bad thing, right? Us as option sellers, like I call us lazy, right? Because we're not trading a lot, right? We're often kind of like, you know, placing an order for a sell, and then we're waiting for 30 days, 45 days, whatever our expiration date, and see what happens. Now, of course, you can go out there and actively manage your trade, close it out, roll it, do some more advanced strategies, but you don't have to do it. You can kind of just let things expire. That's up to your risk tolerance and what your risk levels are. But let's go out to 46 days and see what we are looking at here. So obviously trading at $57 right now, and you would look at what fits your risk profile, right? So right here, 55s, right? You collect $75 in premium from an options buyer. So let's go take a look at our cash secured put calculator to see what kind of premium return we're actually going to be getting at. And of course, guys, right? Disclaimer, these results vary. These premiums that I show you guys, I think it's common sense, but you know, there's some of those people that come over here from the TikTok, right? And they got the TikTok brain, right? Premiums are constantly changing, guys. Right? When you look at your options chain, you're going to see different premiums. So disclaimer, the results I'm showing are for educational purposes only. You already got it, all right? So we're collecting $75 right here. And all these calculators, guys, are free inside of our Facebook group, free for you to use, okay? Just join us down below. Everything is free on this channel unless you want to work one-on-one with me, and that requires some of my time, guys, all right? So let's get it. We're collecting $75 in premium, okay? How much collateral do we have to put up? Well, we already know 55 times 100 is $5,500. Listen, even a simple guy like me, I can do basic math, okay? I can do it, all right? And we're getting about a 1.36% return in about a 45-day period for a return of 11%. And some of y'all like, Pete, that sucks. For 1.3% in 45 days. Well, number one, I beg to differ. I don't think that is a bad return for a company like Realty. But with that said, there are good times to do things and bad times to do things, okay? So we got to go look at Realty Income, guys. All right, right now it's trading at $57. These are the Bollinger Bands, right? This is probably my favorite indicator to use, right? We can see our 200-day moving average right here is $57, all right? And we are trading below that. I love doing puts when it's under 200 and 300-day moving average. I don't know about you, but that gives me a little bit of that kind of resistance level, so to speak, right? Because we're kind of using that a little bit here, right? We're kind of using that 200-day moving average as a bit of a resistance level. Now, we're about it a little bit, but for the most part, right, we've kind of been like testing it really. So for me, I love doing puts under that, right? Now, of course, in the market we live in, right, look at this thing. This thing dropped to 52. Now, Realty Income doesn't have crazy price swings. It's a boring company, right? But it's great because we collect a great dividend and we're still able to kind of like manufacture a dividend on a monthly basis, right? doing the covered call. So as terms of setups here for Realty, right, you can do covered calls on it and cash secured puts on it anytime you want, and you collect some premium on a company that you want to get into anyway, right? But right now the setup is kind of meh, right? So if it goes towards the top of the Bollinger Band, that's the great time for the covered calls. If it goes towards the bottom of the Bollinger Band, that's when it's ideal setup for cash secured puts. Why? Because look at it. If it's trading down here at like 52s, you're probably able to do cash secured puts at 50, 45 and collect hella juicy premium. Same thing at when it starts going above. Listen, this is why I say you guys got to do this for like a year if you're a newbie. Some of this stuff I'm probably speaking French to you, right? So it doesn't make sense, all right? You'll learn this. Just stick to it with a year. We don't trade a lot here, guys. We trade 5-10 times a month, right? We ain't candle chasers. We ain't Picassos of the candlesticks, right? Like, but for real, like, you just do it for a year and you'll see it's a great strategy, guys, and it fits into my lifestyle, and I'm not somebody that wants to sit in front of my computer all day, all right? So next stock, this one was making me sweat. This one, guys, this one was making me sweat. All right, you guys know this channel ain't very old. We've been growing like crazy. I appreciate every single one of you. I feel so blessed that I get to wake up every single morning and talk about this with you guys. I love selling options. I feel like my God-given duty to share this content with you guys, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we've grown like way faster than I ever expected. But if you were an OG, if you're an OG to the channel, right, you probably heard me talk about Arista. All right, Arista is one of my favorite companies to sell options on, right? I have a personal story. I used to work at a high frequency trading company. Hold up, listen. I was the janitor. All right, no I'm kidding. I was just an IT. I was an IT guy, right? And I was just doing IT stuff, right? I mean, no trader at a high frequency trading company. All right, I'm not. You guys know I ain't smart enough for that. So, but I saw that they were constantly deploying like Arista and Cisco, and Arista was like basically in its infancy. I don't even think it was a public company yet. Back then, the IPO took off. And we have earnings coming up for Arista here now, right? Look at this thing, right? Look at the big expectations for Arista. But in my opinion, right, and not even my opinion, I can't, I'll say my opinion. The stock market cannot exist. The markets cannot exist without Arista. Okay? They cannot exist without Arista. Go do your own due diligence. Go do your own research. I'm just talking about me. So when I saw Arista like nosediving here, I was like, this makes 0 sense. This makes 0 sense. The cash flow on this thing, the cash flow, again, cash flow is like the only thing I care about, guys, like on like statements and stuff. Because again, I'm not going in there reading all these finance. I got stuff to do. All right, I got things to do that I don't like. I'm not like some crazy dude that goes into crazy financials of every company. I look at cash flow and a couple other stuff on the income statement, right? But this thing is a cash cow company, all right? So it made no sense to me. And you guys know I was talking about it a lot. And in our incubator, I was talking about this a lot, right? On this way down, I'm like, I don't get it. Yo, fam, like, it does not make sense. I know, again, not financialized, dude on the internet, no idea what he's talking about. But in my belief, I was like, dude, this thing is gonna come back, and it didn't make sense to me. I don't know if you should build a watch list for yourself where you have that deep conviction where you're like, dude, I believe in this company so much that like, I'm going to zero, baby, with you. and this for me was one of those companies. I was like, this thing's gonna come back, and we coming back. And we finally coming back, but we were sweating a little bit. And this is why we're option sellers. We're gonna look at some of the premiums. All right. Now this setup is definitely more for the cover call. So if you're out there and you got assigned, right, well, this is the time to go consider some cover. Do your own research. All right. So let's go look at the 32 days. All right. Look at this. Finally. Where's my juice button? Ha. Look at these premiums. I know a lot of y'all were assigned around the set in that 70s. Let's go. What can I say? Now it's time. Now is the time when they were all running scared, right? When we were in extreme fear and you were able to have emotional control. Let's get it, right? Look at these 95s now paying out 440s. 95s paying out 440s on your covered call sides. Oh man, that is just a beautiful thing to say. And again, a little kind of like lesson, right? Build a watch list and you will do it over time. That's why I say you can't just jump into this. And y'all are just out there watching YouTube videos, and because somebody's telling you, get into Palantir, and you're going to go and do it. You're into hymns. I'm going to do hymns, right? Because all your YouTubers are telling you to do that. Listen, you've already lost, fam. You already lost. Listen, you got to build a watch list that you have conviction in, not some dude that has hundreds of thousands of views on a YouTube videos telling hundreds of thousands of other retail investors, right, what to do. Y'all crazy. Build a watch list that fits your goals that you have. Every single one of you watching this has different goals from one another. I've got different goals than you, and the sooner you can kind of build a watch list that you can back up, you can get passionate about, right, and that takes years. It does. It takes years, but you'll get there over time. Okay. And like, just, I can't stress it enough, guys. Just don't get financial advice from YouTube. Please, please, please. It's educational content. All right. Last one. And I'm going to keep mentioning it, is Pepsi. All right. This thing is getting absolutely hammered to infinity and beyond. Right. And I just can't believe it. I can't believe Pepsi's at 132. They're buying that Poppy brand, which I've talked about multiple times. This is at cash secure territory, in my opinion. 132, right? This is just crazy, man. This is another one of my stocks where I'm like, I'm riding you to zero. I'm riding with you to zero, right? Like, it's just, again, one of my high conviction stocks. I love Pepsi, right? Like I love the brands that they have, right? Yes, they're dealing with some issues that they're going to have to change with the nutritions. They're going to do it. They're going to come back better than ever, right? But in my opinion, I mean, one of the best quad option strategy stocks out there, right? So let's go take a look at the options here. Let's go selling a put. We'll go out about that same 35 day. We'll just do 32 days. I mean, it's wild to see these kind of premiums being offered on Pepsi. I cannot believe it. It's truly incredible. Let's look at this. Even the 125s, dude, Pepsi. I don't even know if Pepsi's when was the last time Pepsi even was at 125? It wasn't in the last 5 years. I mean, when was this at 125, guys? Let me go real quick. I'm trying not to waste too much time here. 2019 around 2019. Crazy, man. Crazy. Again, one of my companies that I just have a lot of conviction in, and I believe in it long term. So that's just me. Let's look at these premiums so we got the 125s, right, for 107, paying out 107 at the time of this recording, right? Results vary, no guarantees. 125, $12,500, right? Because we got to times it. We doing simple math. Look, I already put that in there. Perfect. About a 0.86 return. All right, not a great one. Obviously, if you go further up, like if you wanted to do the 130s, right, you'd be collecting 250, 251 on that. So let's see what that looks like. 251 on 13,000, giving you about 2% return, and that's a 32-day annualized 22. I look at the annualized as my way of when I'm like managing my positions to see what that's going to be. Obviously, you would have to pull this trade off 11 times a year. Guys, don't forget, drop a comment. I'm going to give you guys my 10 favorite quad option strategy stocks in addition to these. I'm going to personally reply to every single one of you. And if you're somebody that wants a more hands-on approach with me, maybe check out our 1-year incubator program. That link will be down below in the description. But basically, it is a 1-year incubator program where I show you how you can set up an option selling portfolio for yourself. So if you think you're a good fit for that, take a look in the description of today's video. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, and repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.